guys, Jess here and welcome to another advent calendar tutorial video. So in this video, this is the making of the cute little Project Life cards I made for Katie. So there are about 8 different Project Life cards and I cut out all the bases using a Silhouette Cameo machine. I designed the cards by scrap lifting some that I saw on Paige Evans' Instagram page. So I basically designed my own cut file mirroring off what she has done. So if they look familiar, that would be why. So I have, this one says Happy Holidays, and I'm just cutting out some different colours to stick behind it. I'm just using a PVA glue to do this, just to make sure I get all the little bits and all the little gaps down. This one is some holly. They're just really cute, these Project Life cards, so I was really excited to scrap lift these the minute I saw them on Paige Evans's Instagram account. I'm sure everyone already follows Paige Evans. I'm sure you haven't been living under a rock, but just in case, go and check her out. She's amazing. What else can I tell you? This is a little bit repetitive and a little bit boring to watch, just watching how I glue down all the different colours. I probably should have edited a bit more of this out, so hopefully you are doing something else in the meantime. This collection I'm using, I have no idea what it is or where it's from. I am using the same sheet of paper. There was sort of like a red border around the edges, and I got this piece of paper in a gift collection, so as in given to me as a gift, so I'm not 100% sure where it's from. This blue colour I'm using with the Christmas trees on the other side, that is an old Kaiser Craft collection. Us Aussie girls, we tend to have a fair bit of Kaiser Craft in our stash, being one of our local Australian scrapbooking companies. So I'm just going through and putting all the backing papers on these so they can sort of dry a little bit before I then come back to add some embellishing. So I'm just putting a little bit of the coloured cardstock underneath and then some really gorgeous Christmas tree colour. And this paper is last year's Stamping Up collection, I do believe. Definitely Stamping Up, but I believe it was last year's. I really love this cut file. I think it is so cute. So I am, doing this to about, I think I said about 8 different cards. So I'm almost finished with the collection I've got. This one's just a really simple one that says Very Merry. And I just thought a straight plain red background would be really cute on this to go with, the Christmas theme. I'm a bit of a traditional Christmas scrapbooker. I really like your reds, your greens and your golds. So I'm trying to expand my horizons and do a little bit of some different colours. It's easier to use different colours when it's not for myself. I'm not really a pinks or a blue kind of a scrapbooker. I think the snow things are really, really cute. So I quite like the snow things, but doesn't really suit an Australian Christmas. But it's really hard to find, hot themed Christmas things. Like, I don't really want Santa in his board shorts, but yet I don't really want Santa with snow. So I'm being quite particular. So if anyone has any really good suggestions of sort of more Australian appropriate Christmas things, that would be cool. Share that with me, please, and I would check it out. So this one says Oh Dear, which I think is just really cute because it's deer like a reindeer, not deer like D-A-R, which I just thought was really punny. And a little reindeer head. Went back to just the classic red. I contemplated doing brown and putting a little Rudolph nose on it, which maybe I should have done, but too late. I did red. So I think that is all of them, and now it's time to embellish and add a few exciting little details. So just popping on the date, as in 2017, not a specific date, because I'm not sure if or when Katie will put this inside her Project Life album or her December daily album. I think she's making one of those this year. These could also be cut down to be gift cakes or something like that as well. You only very briefly saw that I sprayed Hardy Shine onto that one because I sprayed the Hardy Shine off camera. So just pulled out my Stampin' Up! Vellum for this one. It is, I think, a specific Christmas themed vellum. I'll just grab it out so I can check what it is called. It is called Stampin' Up! Winter Wonderland Designer Vellum Stack. So it's from last year as well. It's got some gold, some black. That's all. Some gold and some black. I thought there might have been silver, but no, just gold and some black. Gold and black featured vellum bits, and not the same ones. So what is black isn't necessarily gold, and vice versa. So that's really cute. The way I have stuck down my vellum there is I completely covered the whole section in glue and stuck down the whole entire thing, because that way you don't see any glue marks or dots or anything like that. And then back on the other one, I just put a little Merry Christmas tag on there. So this one got peace across it, because, you know, we all love peace during Christmas time. Putting a little snowflake in the middle of the snowflake. I'm so funny. And then I'm digging through my vellum, and I'm going to put snowflake vellum on it too. Nothing like some snowflakes. Again, I am going to glue down this vellum in the same way, just cover the whole entire section in glue, and then really press the vellum down so it doesn't curl up and it doesn't slide off or anything like that. And then that means there's no sort of glue marks or scrapes or anything, because it is covering, there's no sort of gaps where the glue isn't, if that makes sense. Another tip as well is to use a sponge and dab the glue on, so that also can help not have any marks. One thing you do have to be a little bit careful on is warping of the vellum. The vellum tends to roll back up again when it gets wet, so you might notice that I'm really scraping it down with my finger, or that I'm placing my palm on top of it just to sort of push it down. Sometimes I'll actually put a weight, you know, put the glue box or something on top just to make sure it's really stuck. So those are my little tips with vellum. Obviously, a stapler works really well also, but in this particular case, I didn't want to staple it on. So just trimming off the excess that I have there. I am watching my little man on the video monitor. He was really tired and was falling asleep sitting up, so I popped him in bed much early, like an hour and a half earlier than he usually would be, and he is currently jumping in his cot, pulling the books off the bookshelf. Like, how do you go from falling asleep sitting up, not in your cot, to being in your cot wide awake? How does it happen? It's like he had a micro sleep, like a power nap, and he's suddenly wide awake again. So hopefully he falls asleep soon after having a little bit of a read of his books. Otherwise, I might have to stop this voice recording and go and get him the little rat bag. So, sorry, distracted from what I am doing. Sticking on that gorgeous little joy word there. So the joy and the peace word and all the other ephemera you can just see in the corner there, that is a Kaiser Craft collection from last year, if not the year before. I like to hoard my things, and I also like to buy the old collections when they're on sale, because I don't really mind what year they're from. Very Merry, just popping on some washi tape, and then I decided I really wanted to write Very Merry Christmas. Of course, I didn't have exactly the correct letters. I had no S's left, so I'm cutting the 8s into S's, which I'm really happy with the way they look. I mean, they don't look perfect, but they look fine. But I realized later that the numbers are slightly bigger than the lowercase letters, which was a little bit of a pain, but I'm sticking with it. I'm doing it anyway. I think Katie has these letters herself at home, so if she really hates the look of those S's, she can peel them off carefully and replace them. But I don't think it looks too bad. I don't think it's too noticeable. So that one is almost finished. I do go back and do a little bit more again to these ones as well, so just bear with me. I'm just doing all the sort of embellishing to them now, and then I go back and put enamel dots, because you can't miss out on enamel dots. I have had these little stars in my stash since last Christmas also. That says best gift ever. And I decided off camera that it was a bit hard to read. So in the photos at the end, I've actually used a little bit of a doodle pen to go around the outside and just make it a little bit clearer and a little bit easier to read. That is really cute love heart washi, which I think works well with the idea of best gift ever because, you know, you love it and it's cute. I just was having a fiddle with this one. I found that one tricky, best gift ever. I decided just to keep it simple. So I actually don't do much else to that apart from enamel dots. So now the tree, and so I'm pulling out the enamel dots now because I think the Christmas tree needs some baubles on it. So a few red, a few pearl. I decided as well, obviously needs a star at the top, of course. I decided as well, I really wanted sort of those traditional Christmas colours, so I went with the pearly look because I didn't have any shiny red enamel, or not enamel, diamantes left. So I put the green diamantes back because they didn't go together. You can't have diamantes and pearls. Yes, I'm a little bit pedantic like that. So I need to get some more gold diamantes. That's my official word. But I was really happy with the way this looked. So the colour I'm using there is a little bit more blue, a little bit of a bluey colour, but it works perfectly. So then, oh dear, I want to make the O because obviously it just says H at the moment, H dear, which does not work. But again, I already had all this worked out from scrap lifting the Paige Taylor Evans stuff. So I'm just pulling out some buttons from my stash, or some flare, from my stash. It's just a little gold sleigh with a Santa on it. And I went and found a little printed doily from a Kaiser Craft collection, which I just thought was really cute. So I added it behind just to give it a little bit of a something. It's not a real doily. It's not a paper lace doily. It's an ephemera doily, as you can probably see. And then just doodling up the words so that you can see those a bit better because they're a little bit hard to read. What else? Sorry, got distracted by looking at my monitor. My small child is only just visible in my monitor. I wonder what devilish things he's getting up to now, reaching things off his bookshelf, I'm sure. But he's happy. He's not making noise, so he's happy. Putting on some diamantes, silver diamantes to go with the sort of silver star paper there. Happy holidays. So the Handy Shine's dry. So just sticking on a little piece of sort of mistletoe, holly type decoration on there. And then again, got to have a few enamel dots. Life is not complete without enamel dots. Sorry, making a mess. I kind of clean up as I go, so I try and edit as much of it out as I can, but it's quite challenging to get all the bits out that you don't really need to see. And I don't realise sometimes until I'm doing the voiceover that I've included some things that you really didn't need included, but by the time I'm at the voiceover stage, that's the very last step, so I'm not going to go back in and edit it again. So I apologise if sometimes you feel my videos are a little bit repetitive or include bits that are unnecessary. Sorry, that was not English. So I just popped some some pearlies inside the little stars on the Very Merry Christmas, and I popped some around the Merry Christmas on the deer, and then had this great idea that the deer's antlers could have like little baubles on them. I thought about doing like little doodle lines to have the antlers hanging down, but I'm not great at that. I was scared I would end up ruining it, and it already looks so great. So I just popped the pearly dots, really tiny pearly dots, onto the antlers. I noticed a couple of them weren't sticking very well, so I do even get a little bit of PVA glue just to make sure they're really stuck down, because I didn't want those to come undone or slide off when Katie was eventually putting them into her pocket. And I think I'm almost finished. I need something on this Happy Holidays now that the mistletoe is stuck on. We don't really have mistletoe here in Australia. I think you can get it because, you know, you can grow everything everywhere, but it's not a traditional thing to us here in Australia. Well, not in the family where I grew up anyway. But I like the idea. I think it's really cute. So just popping on some red and green enamel dots all the way around, and then I think I am done. So here are some close-ups. As I said in this photo that you were going to see, and now I ended up going around the edge because I decided that you couldn't read it very well, and I think you can read that a little bit better. The oh dear, so super cute. I was really happy with the way this one turned out, and I love that little doily that is a Kaiser Craft collection again. And the reindeer, I thought that was cute. Oh, maybe I should have put one on the end of his nose to be Rudolph. I probably am going to do that. Put a little red enamel dot on the end of his nose because that's adorable. Happy holidays. It was a little bit messy. The machine did not cut that little tiny happy very well, but that's okay. It worked. The snowflake. Very nice there. Happy with that. I love those little words, the peace and the joy and the little goldness to them. That piece is just really simple. Keep it simple. Sometimes just the colours and the picture speaks for itself. Very Merry Christmas. Now, I deliberately didn't round the edges. I'm 99% sure Katie doesn't round the edges of her Project Life card. And if she does, she can do that to herself. Love this one. I think this one's my favourite. And that is them done. So I hope you enjoyed this video and stay tuned for another one.